accountable. When we take our tax money, we ought to be accountable to what they're doing with it, that we're getting some benefits for what we're paying for, but
Okay, we're back on.
Understand that.
Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order again, and we have Treasurer Don Hartman.
All right. Okay, so I finished all my driver's license training, so we are going to reopen the driver's license processing next week. And driver's ed just got done this week, so
It's going to help.
yeah, all the parents are extremely relieved that we will be opened up. We are going to just be by appointment only, though, because it's a new process for us again, and they do take a lengthy amount of time, and I want to make sure that I'm there so I can help process it with them. So they're going to have to call in and make an appointment, but we are going to do it Monday through Friday instead of just Tuesday through Friday. So hopefully that extra day will help not cram it in so much, and we got 5 days instead of 4 days.
Is that just till you get caught up, and then go back to 2 days?
No, we're going to stay Monday through Friday.
Okay.
I'll probably do by appointment only for the rest of this calendar year, and then hopefully by next calendar year we'll be up and running and full going, and so people can just walk in and get it done at any time.
Okay.
So, titles. We have about, I didn't count my list, 15 or 20 that we're waiting on signatures and kind of cleanup mess for March of 2021. So Melva is now currently working on April. So we've come a long way, because when Melva started, she was in November of 2020. So we are in April of 2021. And I have been approving July's titles as they come in. So really we only have April, May, and June. So that was a huge thing. I've been coming in on the weekends and scanning and approving titles, because the state has a new title background check system that they're adding to the mover system. And it is going live August 16th or August 17th. And they informed me that they want as many titles approved as possible, because it's going to create a mess for the titles that aren't approved to go through this extra check. They said they would work with me on fixing the mess, because they're super nice, but they wanted us to get as many done as we could to avoid the mess, because they said every title would probably be twice the work to get it approved with this new system. So I've been coming in on the weekends and trying to approve a few here and there to help with that, because that doesn't sound fun to me. So with the balancing, I am through December 23rd of 2020. So I have 4 business days left of 2020. So I'm hoping to get those done Monday next week, if not this afternoon, depending on how that goes. And then I'll be starting end of the year stuff, closing out 2020, doing the period 13, the normal stuff that's supposed to be happening in January. But we should have all of the numbers for 2020 by next week for budget purposes and for expense purposes, and all of the reports that people have been needing, they should be available next week. So
That's why Mapes and Millers, they were supposed to be here this meeting. They changed till the last meeting in August, because they're waiting on to do our budgets.
So I should have, like I said, I should have all that done next week. So, and I will let the auditors know that. So if they need me to send them reports or whatever, to get them whatever they need, so that when they come back at the end of August, they'll have all their numbers that they need and all that, so we can get budgets done and everything. With balancing of the year, a couple of things that I have found out. The 911, Register of Deeds, and Special Law, their AP, when they pay AP, all AP comes out of First National Bank, and then the Treasurer's Office goes in and for these 3 departments takes it out of their checking account and reimburses the First National Bank, because it should come out of their account, but AP can't take it out of their account. None of those were done for 2020 or for 2021. So I've let Eric know for 911 and Cody know for special law. This was part of their audit that they got reprimanded for because this wasn't being done. The ins and outs weren't being done. So I haven't talked to Jeannie about it, but hers is pretty minimal. And she doesn't have an audit. Both Cody and Eric have said that if I can get a spreadsheet together of just the whole year and do one transfer and include that spreadsheet for them, that will satisfy their audit. That satisfies me. It'll make things balance. So that's something else that I'm going to work on next week, is try and get that cleared up and cleaned up and get that to them so they can clean up their audit. Also, BW Telecom sends checks, I think it's quarterly, and they're actual paper checks. They've been getting receipted in to 911, which is where they're supposed to be receipted in, but then they're supposed to be deposited into 911's bank account, and they weren't. They were deposited into First National, our county bank account. So I'm going to have to transfer that money back out of our county account to reimburse 911, because that's where it originally should have gone. And that's been all of last year and all of this year as well. So it's another in and out that simple but time consuming to correct.
You're going to take money from us.
Yes. I am.
It wasn't yours to begin with, Roger.
It wasn't ours to begin with.
But we already spent it.
BW Telecom. Yeah, out of Winkelman. Yeah.
We bought new chairs.
So the good thing is that all this stuff has been receipted incorrectly. It's just the bank accounts. So now the bank accounts don't match the funds. So I need to move money so that it matches. And that way in the audit, it'll show that this account and this fund.
Got a paper trail.
Yes. Yes.
They match.
Yes, they match. They should zero out. It should be balanced. What else? Oh, speaking of balancing, December. So when I got here, May and June was halfway pushed through with processing. So I had to go back and pick through and figure out what was processed, what wasn't processed, and finish that. Then July forward, nothing was processed. And so I've been going through and processing all of that. And like I said, I'm through December 23rd. Everything was running smoothly until December. We have these daily sheets, which is just a spreadsheet that was created. And it just basically is a cover sheet for all of this lovely paperwork behind it. So at the end of the day, we fill out this spreadsheet with our daily activity. So all of our receipts in, all of our checks out, and then any banking information that we do. So our check deposits, our cash deposits, our credit cards, that type of stuff. And this is how we balance at the end of the day, to make sure that the reports that say we took in $17,000, our banks actually match that we actually did take in $17,000. And this has been going on every day. Everything's been great, like I said, till December. So when I started opening up December, there was a lot of days where just the date was filled in. No information was here. I had all of the paperwork in the packet, so I could create this. But then when I went to balance it, I should get a 0, because I should take my total receipts minus my stuff. And there's been several days that I don't have a 0, which means our reports say we took in $17,000, but what actually hit the bank was only 15 or whatever. I'm just rounding up for even numbers for purposes of explaining this. So
That can't be good.
I'm going to have to, once I get it all, that's part of my email to the auditors next week, is when I explain that I'm through all of this, I'm also going to explain these. And the unfortunate part is that we're short money. We're not long. So I need a second set of eyes, obviously. That's what the auditors are for, to try and work through this.
Figure out where that money's at.
Right.
Hopefully it's somewhere.
Some of it has been that, like yesterday was a bad day for me. I'll be quite honest. There's a lot of credit card payments that weren't printed, so I didn't know about them. I had to go find them, and I found them, but it took a lot of searching, but that helped greatly. There just wasn't a lot of accountability and a lot of, it's been difficult. So yeah, like I said, there are some days that we are, sometimes it's $40, sometimes it's $4,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's up.
She first came over, it was like 40,000 or 50,000.
Yeah.
She found us.
And then I found some stuff. So that, like I said, I had a few heart attacks yesterday and then a few resuscitations. So probably I would say right now, just a rough ballpark, if we added it all up, we're looking at probably 10,000 here and there, 4,000 here, 700 here, $40 there. So I don't know. It could be that it is there. I just haven't found it. Because that was another problem that I found yesterday is on the 22nd of December. They just bundled up the checks and put a rubber band on it and stuck them in the vault. And I didn't have any proof of it, that it ever went to the bank. And it was like $180,000. And so I was having a panic attack because I checked the bank accounts and I checked the bank statements and I couldn't find it. And so Amy thought long and hard, and she's like, February we found a couple bundles of checks and we got them deposited. So we actually found them and they were deposited, but they didn't get deposited until February for December. So that could be some of this, is that it did get deposited. I just haven't got through it yet. So, yes. And like I said, at the beginning we were like 200,000 that I was having heart palpitations about. And now we're down to probably 10,000. So, but I still have another week of December to go, so. And this was tax time. You know, this is when taxes were due, and I was really nervous about balancing this week because it's just such high volume and such high dollar amounts that we're dealing with on a daily basis. And I knew there wasn't great accountability, and I knew that things were going home and shoved in boxes and rubber banded, and so I was kind of expecting this, but at the same time, I was hoping I would never get to this point, but we're here, so I wanted to let you guys know that that's kind of where we're at on that. So,
Well, I would think the auditors could help you at the end of that, maybe.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you said, fresh eyes.
Well, and I'm hoping that once I get this done, 2020 done, and I start doing the closeout, there might be stuff in period 13 where she voided something and it just hasn't hit, which will take care of this and that type of thing. I mean, there's still a lot to process, so I wouldn't say this is necessarily alarming or negative. It's just more of a fact. This is where these days are at, and I'm just noting it right now so that hopefully he'll find the wash and it'll all come out in the end. So yeah, that's my week next week, getting all that done and getting driver's license up and running again, and so we should be good to go with that. So, but I would also like to call executive sessions for non-elected personnel if I could.
How much time do you need?
Oh, 15, 20, 15.
If we have to stay in that long, so.
Can we call another one if we go over?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go for 20 and try and make it quick.
Okay, we need a motion for 20 minutes of,
I so move.
My second.
first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
I'm going to drink of water real quick and I'll be right back.
Could have one of those.